It's been 10 years since The Usual Suspects' last public performance. What are the band members doing now?
I'm a project analyst supporting BP North America, Lower 48. I work in conjunction with the engineering staff of the various asset teams I support, creating SAP projects to monitor the cost and financials of the AFE sanctioned projects that the engineers have created and gotten approval. What happens is I run cost analysis to ensure that any variables that are not met are scrutinized due to SOX regulations and the other various intricacies of the job, which include IT.
I find it boring as hell. We got an ace on the board, but everybody wants to know, where's the ace of spades? I do the old card up the sleeve trick. Wait, hang on. Right there, it's that easy, and that's the way you win.
In laboratory tests, 4 out of 5 hearing impaired listeners preferred MP357 files to even the highest quality video.
Cut. Let's try it again.
I don't get it. What's my motivation?
My motivation is the paycheck you promised me, and I've got to be at the auto show in half an hour.
Okay, I understand.
And I better see my paycheck this week.
Okay, that's fine. Would you like a free copy of the CD?
That's okay.
Well, that's all right. She was stifling my artistic integrity anyway. Okay, so what's my motivation?
Basically, you're trying to get people to buy our CDs.
But why would I do that?
To make money.
Why would my character need money?
I need the money to find another job.
I can work with that. I'm a headhunter who finds work for people with absolutely no talents at all. Ooh, this could be a TV series. Each week, I can help a different worthless person get a job.
What's that smell?
Oh, God.
That's a wrap. We're done.
Let's do one more take. Will you stop jerking that camera around or give me a Dramamine?
It's my style. People love it.
Well, maybe if they're ADD, it sucks.
I was like 9, and I was really into the band, and the club was like 10-year-olds and up, so I was like, okay. I had a fake ID and it totally didn't work.
How would I describe the response of the fans? It was much better than golf applause.
My older brother used to jam with Rocky Erickson in the 13th floor elevators. And of course, you know, Rocky was known for doing some LSD back in his time. He was telling me this story about this band called The Usual Suspects, and it was very interesting because they didn't even exist at the time. They were only 12 years old. Sure enough, about 10 years later, here they come, The Usual Suspects, formed just like Rocky said. It was like some sort of, I don't know, ordained destiny or something. You know, it just makes it all the weirder that they weren't a much better band. Strange.
For The Usual Suspects, the fans were much more reserved than the band was. I mean, we were jumping around, playing the rock and roll and everything, and the audience was very reserved for the most part. Some of them looked shocked. So I would describe it as not exuberant, but more enthusiastic when we stopped.
I can still throw out a TV. I could launch this in the pool like a satellite.
Yeah, if satellites orbited underwater.
It could orbit like a submarine.
Or maybe you could put a submarine in the pool and launch a satellite into orbit.
Dennis, give me a hand. Les?
Sorry. My hands are my precious musical gift. Besides, there's no pool here anyway.
Let's dig one.
If you dig any more holes in my yard, you're all grounded for a month.
Our very first album, we recorded on this boom box.
Now we record on a laptop. Digital is so much better.
Digital is great.
Yeah.
My last prostate exam was digital. Didn't seem that great to me.
I think one of the most exciting performances I ever saw them do was when Les smashed his guitar up on stage.
Give me that guitar! Give me the guitar! Give me the guitar! Give me the guitar! Give me the guitar!
What kind of guitar do you play?
Oh, I've got a ton of different Fenders and Gibsons, but what I'm playing right now is this sweet jewel here from Ibanez. It's a custom GS series, but I really hopped this thing up. I tore both pickups out and put in some custom alternating wound humbuckers in both the front and back position.
I played this one with the pretty color design. And it's got 3 knobs.
We had great rapport with our audience. They loved us.
Thank you, thank you. We're really happy to be playing here for you tonight.
Not me, I've got a bad headache. I should have just stayed at home.
Yeah, and I wanted to watch the season finale of Murphy Brown tonight.
Yeah, come to think of it, I wanted to be playing with a different band tonight. Anyway, now we want to play Just the Way It Goes.
Maybe you want to play it.
Y'all been a great audience.
I wouldn't say great. I'd say they're at least above average. I'd give them a B.
Nah, more like average. I'd give them a C at best.
Oh, come on. At least a B minus.
Guys, your mics are on.
Well, at least they're not as rude as the crowd at Rudyard's last Saturday.
Shut up and play.
The crowd on Friday was worse.
Well, maybe they are as rude as the crowd at Rudyard's last Saturday.
Play. Friday.
I have to deal with jerks every day.
Come on.
The Usual Suspects' biggest competition in the 80s and early 90s was the Roof Dogs.
Our biggest competition in the 80s and 90s was the Roof Dogs.
I just said that.
Sounded better when I said it.
The Usual Suspects' biggest competition in the 80s and 90s was the Roof Dogs. What? Everybody else was saying it?
The Roof Dogs were one of the best cover bands in Houston, while the Usual Suspects, you could probably argue, had some pretty decent equipment.
Oh, the Roof Dogs were great. Great musicians, put on an excellent show, great guitar player. Usual Suspects, well, they were really nice guys.
I'm guessing the Roof Dogs are just better.
The Roof Dogs were, technically superior. They played notes that were in the same key, and they were together, but they just didn't have the soul of the Usual Suspects. And they were playing other people's music. They weren't writing their own songs.
The Roof Dogs.
They're a terrible band. They're not even a band. I mean, like if I were like la 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 la, like, am I a band? Does that make me a band? So they're like that. They get up and they're like, and I'm like, how are you a band?
Everyone's a professional, and we get along creatively, and that's why night in and night out we're always on top of our game.
Then why haven't the Usual Suspects gotten more recognition?
The Usual Suspects? I thought you were asking me about the Roof Dogs.
No, the Usual Suspects.
You're doing a documentary about the Usual Suspects?
Yes.
Wait a minute. I'm being punked, aren't I? I'm being punked. Right?
Our lives have grown apart and been rearranged.
Clifford left the band because he's not a real person.
I didn't know he quit the band. I thought he was just running late.
But it's been 10 years.
I waited longer than that for Clifford to show up.
It's like he was never in the band. You know what I mean? Don't tell him I said that. Don't put that on the thing. You're not gonna put that. No, you're not gonna put that on the thing.
In the mid-'80s, you added a female singer to the band.
No, we didn't.
Does the name Cheryl Kamek ring a bell?
I don't want to talk about it.
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 Have you seen a picture of her? She's almost as sexy as me.
To play poker effectively, you need to keep your poker area nice and clean. All I have to do is concentrate on the action going in front of me and keep my eyes on the other poker players that are around me. And that's how you win at poker. I want to show you guys one more trick. Let me start over.
Les always says when he writes music, he tries to think outside the box. Me, I just think about the box.
What does Mark talk about?
Nobody knows.
He talks a lot, but I never really listen.
What is it about Mark that makes him so attractive to female fans?
I once saw Mark backstage and his shirt was undone a little and he had a wad of gum stuck there. So I figure it must have been the chest hair because that was, so you know, he had to cut it out. He'd like tried peanut butter and it didn't work.
You never really lied, but you didn't tell the truth. You messed with my mind, took advantage of my youth. You told me what was right.
What changed when Dennis joined the band?
We had to find a wall outlet. Before he joined, we didn't have any equipment that plugged in.
We were there when music videos began.
Who cares about videos? The true artistry's in the music. Any 10-year-old can make a video. Ever heard of YouTube?
No.
What's your favorite music video song?
They did music videos?
I haven't seen any.
Actually seen it, no, but I've heard about a lot of it.
Oh, where to begin? I mean, I've got them all on VHS somewhere, packed away.
There was the one where the dogs played the instruments. That was cool, because, you know, dogs can't play instruments, but on the video they could.
I like the one about the little girl and the 3 bears.
We had this one that was kind of expensive where we had like these flying cow things, or maybe we were going somewhere and we hit a cow. I don't know.
The one where like he and the girl are at the movies and then they go for a walk and then he turns into a werewolf. I love that one. It really scared me at the end. I was like, whoa, he's a werewolf.
He's an artist without so much to say.
Les is just sensitive like most artists. We've been best buds for 30 years, so I'm used to him being a jerk.
Les is a good singer. He can sing a lot of syllables really fast.
I believe it's much too fall, and Jason is making a little to call. I don't know. I guess I just.
Why did you choose that guitar?
You know, I just saw it in the store, and it just kind of called out to me that, Les, buy me. I said, I can't afford it. Come on, buy me. And, you know, I realized it was my muse speaking to me, and that's, how can you say no to your muse? I never say no to my muse.
How did Les get the nickname Mad Dog?
There's just a montage going in my head of the times that he's, you know, getting angry or yelling or turning around and different things are being thrown or flying different places, but it always comes from a very, you know, sincere place.
One time in a song, I ad-libbed in an augmented chord and he wanted diminished. He went berserk. And the funny thing is, I don't even know how to play either one of them.
We were all playing Scrabble, and I played the word Zaftig, which is a German word, and Les was like, it's not a word, and I was like, it's totally a word. It's like a German word, and he goes, German isn't English, and he threw the table. And I guess he won because he threw the table.
Oh, he got really mad when I said I didn't know them.
There was a time in typing class that I heard, you know, something about a typewriter being thrown out a window, and he was in that class. I know that.
This is one of my particular favorites. He threw this at the Fitzgerald show in '82. He never threw the other one, though.
Apparently Les is a big fan of boiled egg in his tuna fish, and somebody delivered a plate to him with a sandwich that did not contain egg in his tuna fish. He got a little upset, threw his plate through the window, and stormed out of the room. I actually had to duck because the plate was flying at me. It missed me and went through the window. I suppose I should have taken one for the team to save the window, but I value my face also.
What hasn't he thrown at me? I got boxes of the stuff.
There has been some controversy over some of Les's lyrics. Perhaps you can clear them up for us.
Lyrics?
You know, the words to songs.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I never had music theory, all that fancy stuff, so I'm free to create without constraints. You know, who's to say what's right or wrong, or what notes can or can't be in a chord? Shoot, I don't even know what a chord is.
When you're living in a small town, there's not much to do there. Talk about the weather on the porch in your own chair.
What do you think of the original songs?
They're okay. You know, some of them are almost like real songs.
Les's songs remind me of a Jackson Pollock painting.
Because they're artistic and expressionistic?
No, because they sound like something my 10-year-old could do, but in a good way.
Tell me about the Brown album.
Which one was that?
The one with the brown paper bag cover?
I always thought it was more of a taupe color. Maybe even sienna. Brown?
Oh yeah, the Brown album. That was one of our greatest artistic achievements. Basically, it was my creative response to the Beatles' White Album.
But didn't your album come out 20 years after theirs?
Yeah, but great art takes time. The whole concept of the album was so expansive and ahead of its time. We used sounds and instruments that still haven't been invented. There was so much harmonic dissonance exudating from that disc that having artwork on the cover seemed to be blatantly counterproductive.
This is actually my second copy. I had the band autograph the first one, but that actually lowered its value.
After a show one night, we ran out of CD cases, so I started selling the CDs without a case. I put them in some brown paper lunch bags that I found under the counter, and they really started selling, so we kept doing it. We tried selling our next album in a baggie, but they didn't sell as well. I guess the fad had passed.
I bought the Clear album. It was 45 minutes of the most amazing static ever heard. If it were any other band, it would be unlistenable. Only the Usual Suspects could pull that off.
There might have been a technical problem in duplication.
Did Les or Dennis ever write a song about you?
I don't think they would say that they have, but I think that they're hiding something.
Actually, my lawyer said I can't talk about that. You know, I mean, it was settled out of court, and apparently after, you know, it's settled, you're not supposed to say anything. So, you know, I mean, I bought a car. I was good.
Well, there was this one time a few years back when I decided to sell everything that I own and give all my money to charity, to the poor, and Dennis was very moved by that. And he began to write a song about my experience and my inspiration. It turns out I didn't sell anything, and I actually bought myself a new TV, so I don't think you've ever finished the song.
Everywhere we go, it's like, you know, somebody orders an extra set of onion rings. Like, oh, that's a song. No, it's not. It was just maddening to me. You don't need to make a song out of everything. Hey, did you just scratch your ear? I think that's a song. No, it's not. You know, I got tired of that. I was just on guard all the time not to do anything. Someone's going to write a song about it. So that was the one thing that I just got a little tired of.
How do Dennis's songs differ from Les's songs?
Well, Dennis's songs are kind of like this. Les's songs, on the other hand, are kind of like this.
In the early days, Mark really attracted the women. Girls used to write their phone number on their underwear and throw them at him while he was playing. But then as our audience matured, the underwear seemed to get more substantial. At their last live concert, a woman threw her bra at Mark and it fractured his wrist. It didn't affect his playing that much, but it was his beer drinking hand. The band decided to take a break while it healed, and before you know it, 10 years have passed.
For 10 years, I have dreamed of seeing them on stage again, of feeling the power, of seeing Mark pounding his sticks and Adonis no longer young but virile as ever.
After the band broke up, Les got very depressed. He always thought they'd make it really big. You know, successful enough to sue each other.
We did have that one dispute about song royalties, but it got thrown out at small claims court. Judge Judy is my sworn enemy.
Are you looking forward to Usual Suspects?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to see them do Roxanne.
That's the week they're also doing their reunion concert.
Oh, well, I'd go to that one.
I'm just looking forward to the old gang getting back together and just putting that magic back together and performing one more time.
Why do people look forward, you know, to magic? You know, why do they look forward to unicorns? They look forward to it because it's wonderful. And they're like that. They're like magical unicorns that can fly.
Well, of course I'm looking forward to it. I mean, they're my heroes. This is like the greatest thing that's happened to me in my life.
For sure, it'll be fun, and then it'll be over.